Hello, we're from these Jane's videos, and I'm back with another Wolfman review. And this Wolfman review is another very exciting one because this one is on another new for 2020 Spirit Halloween animatronic, and this is the Butcher. The Butcher, I got him a couple days ago at one of my nearby stores. Also, I want to mention the day I'm recording this, which is August 7th. I don't know if it's going to be uploaded tomorrow or if it's going to be uploaded tonight, so that's why I'm telling you the recording date. But the day after August 7th is when my another one of my stores opens up, so I'm definitely going to that store in hopes of getting some more props. So, wish me luck. Pray for me that they'll have some more props, because that would be awesome. But anyways, with that out of the way, the Butcher is one of my favorite props of the year ever since he first came out. Actually, ever since he was shown in the teaser, I knew he'd be one that I love. Because he is very much so a farm-like prop, because I mean, for one, he's wearing a pig head, but he's a butcher. I feel like butchers work very well with farm themes and stuff. Obviously, my haunt theme for this year is a laboratory, which is one of the reasons I got sewer varmint, of course, but that means I will not be using the Butcher this year, because last year I did a farm theme, so he would have worked perfectly last year, but this year it's a laboratory, so I cannot use him this year. So I'm not going to be using him in the haunt, but I'm not just going to not be using him. I'm still going to be using this prop on Halloween night. He's just going to be in my front yard in a display with some of my other scarecrows, because I'm having a couple different scenes in the front yard as a display to kind of drag people into the haunt. Obviously, that is not the main thing I'm focused on. The main thing I'm focused on is the haunt itself, of course, just like always, because that's the main thing. The display is more so just to attract people in and to use the props that I'm not using the haunt. But I'm still excited for the display. I'm obviously just a lot more excited for the haunt, but I'm excited for the display too, because that is a fun thing to do on Halloween night as well. So I'm definitely using him this year, just not in the haunt. He's going in the display. But this guy, I absolutely love him. It's a prop that I've wanted to see for a while, actually. A pig butcher guy. I've always thought that's a really creepy concept, and I always wanted to see a prop like this. And in 2020, we got one. The year of the unique ideas is what this year is. So in 2020, we got one, and I'm really happy about it. So let's get into the review on this guy. Obviously, like always, I'm starting off with the detail. It's phenomenal. That's one of the best parts about this prop, is that his detail is great. It truly does look like a real pig head, because it's not a mask. Some people have said it's a mask. It's not a mask. It's supposed to be a pig head. So it really does look like he's wearing a real pig head. It looks great. You can see all the stitching and stuff on it and all of that. The teeth look awesome. The face, I love the eyes. There's just so much texturing and different layers here and different coloring and everything on this guy that he truly looks amazing. He really has outstanding detail. He's really a great looking prop. Overall, I love the head. That's definitely the coolest part about him. His IR sensor, as you can see, is in the nose there, so it's very well disguised, which is a good thing. So yeah, he just looks really good. And down the bottom of the head here, you've got some blood, which is great, because in previous years, Spirit has not been doing as much blood as they've done in the past. They have been doing some blood, but in previous years, they've been doing less blood. This year, they're definitely coming back with the more disturbing. I've loved modern Spirit so much. I've loved the previous years of Spirit. They've been some of my favorite years in Spirit history, but I think a lot of the props were more cool and awesome and creepy and scary, but they weren't really disturbing. This year is definitely coming back with the disturbing stuff, the stuff that actually is sickening, and that's a good thing. So props like Miss Mercy, and I would even go to say the Butcher, because he is a rather disturbing prop, especially his audio and stuff, in my opinion, and he's got a lot of blood. I wish they would have added blood to the apron. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't do that, but I'm glad that they added blood, and it's a lot of blood too. It's not just a little bit like they've done in recent years. All we've seen for blood is just a little bit of blood that technically just looks like this, so it might not have even been blood. It might just be mud stains, but he's got a lot of blood here, and the reason that it's around his neck is because he's obviously wearing a chopped off pig head, so the blood is coming off of the head. I don't really know why they wouldn't add it to the apron if they added it up there. My guess is that he hasn't killed anyone yet and he's getting ready to, or I think another guess is it's for if you don't want it or not. If you do want blood, because that blood isn't too noticeable, so if you do want blood on him, then you can add it, but if you don't, if it's already there, then you can't remove it. And so I think it's really just leaving a blank canvas to do whatever you want with it, which I think is good. I think that's a good strategy for marketing to get more people to buy it, because if people do want it, they can just add it, and if they don't, then he doesn't have it. So I think that, well, he does have it, but that blood's not too much. So I'm talking about if they don't want too much blood on him. But if you're getting a prop like this, you're going to expect at least a little bit of blood because he's a butcher. But his head looks really cool. Also, his head, the material is very strange. I knew it would be some kind of latex or vinyl, but look at how squishy it is. It's an actual mask. I'm not even kidding. It's an actual mask, and it can be taken off. Now, I did not take it off entirely because it would be really a pain to get it back on, but underneath, there's a mannequin head here, and it's got some texturing and stuff on it, which is interesting that they added texturing to that, even though you're not going to see it. But it is a mannequin head. It does not have eyes. It's just got like this gaping hole in the front. It looks kind of like a mouth, but it's not. So it doesn't have eyes or anything, but it is a mannequin head underneath here, which I thought was very interesting that they didn't just make this a full foam-filled latex or vinyl prop for the head, but instead they have a mannequin head with a mask on. I guess it works, and it makes the pig head look a lot more like a head that he's wearing, but I found it very interesting. So moving down to his clothes, there's not too much detail, but I don't think they look bad. Like I said, it's a blank canvas to do whatever you want with it. If you do want blood, you can add it. He's got his apron, but at least they did do some stuff on his clothes here with the mud splatters, which I guess could be dried blood. He's got it all up and down his apron. Looks cool. Adds to the character. It's not too much, but it's better than just a completely clean one, which is a good thing. His gloves I really love because they're actual rubber gloves here, which is awesome. And I don't want to touch this one too much because this one actually comes off. The gloves are not attached. They can just slide off, so you want to be careful with that. Underneath, I'm not going to show you what's underneath because it's a pain to get it back on, but underneath is just a wire frame. Each finger has a different wire, and around that wire frame is just stuffing to give it more of a texture. So that's the deal with him and the hands there. So both hands are the same. This one is meant to be the one that holds up the cleaver because this one already comes in the box jutted out like that. But these arms are fully posable. It's kind of hard to get them how you want them, but they are posable. The fingers are much easier to pose. But the arms are kind of hard, but they definitely are posable if you try hard enough. So the gloves, I think, look really good. They really add to his character. You've got the cleaver here, which is entirely foamy material, which is awesome because this is actually the same material as the cleavers that they sell separately. I think this might actually be the same cleaver mold of a cleaver that you would buy separately. It's the same material and everything, so you can just take this out of the prop and use it as a cleaver for like a movie or for a costume or something if you really wanted to. Now, I don't know why you'd buy the butcher and take his cleaver out when you can just buy your own cleaver. But yeah, it is rather cool, and it shows the quality of that it's not plastic or anything, it's foam, which is a very good thing. So moving down here, his pants, usually the pants are the most boring part of the prop because they never really detail them, and that is no exception with this one, but it's not a big deal because it's just the pants, so I don't really care. He's got his shoes here, which I'm really happy with the shoes because they are a solid plastic. They aren't the cheap, flimsy plastic that... I love SVI, they're my favorite company, but the one thing I have an issue with them is the shoes. Their shoes are always a very cheap and flimsy plastic, and I don't really like that. It doesn't look good, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't last as well, because if you drop something on it, it's going to cave in and snap. Whereas these are just sturdy shoes here, which is really, really good that he has those. I'm really happy that he has the sturdy shoes as opposed to the other ones. I love the pose that he's in. I think it's really awesome how he has one knee out. It definitely makes him look more intimidating. But my only issue with that pose is that he's a side-to-side moving prop, and so it looks kind of weird when he's moving like that and he's like got one knee out. It just looks odd. It doesn't look natural, but I still really like the pose, and honestly I think it just depends on how you set them up, because I've seen a lot of butchers that are set up like this and they look awful when they move side to side. Mine, I think I set up mine very well because I took like 10 minutes readjusting him and stuff to make sure he looks great. I think I set up mine really well. It looks natural, it looks good, I really like it. But without further ado, let's get into... Actually, first I want to mention, because I want to mention this earlier on in the review near the end like I used to, but this guy is $199.99, and I think he's worth that price, because though it is a big price, we aren't really going to see, we never really see 6-foot life-size props, and this guy's over 6 feet actually. He's very tall. He's almost as tall as Arctic Dragon. We never really see 6-foot life-size props for under $200 these days, no matter how much animation they have. And so though he is only a side-to-side turning animatronic, I think $200 is reasonable for him. Anyways, let's get into what he does.
Here, piggy, piggy, piggy. This little piggy went to market. Where are you going?
I adore the audio on this guy. It's one of the things I love the most about him. I love his knife or blade sounds. I think they sound great. I love his voice. His voice was done great. Whoever the voice actor is, great job on this one. I love the laugh. The laugh is truly one of the best evil laughs we've ever heard in a while, I think. It's a really great evil laugh. And I love his pig squeals and oinks. I was really hoping that this guy would squeal when I saw his picture before I saw the video. And he does, and I'm really happy that he squeals because that is really creepy. I think pig squeals are definitely very creepy on a prop like this because he's a normal human. He's not a pig. A lot of people mistake him as a mutant pig. He's not a mutant pig. He's a normal human that's just wearing a decapitated pig head. But he's so crazy that he kind of has the mindset that he thinks he's a pig, and so he makes pig sounds. It's really creepy. It's very disturbing, and I really like it about this prop. And his phrases are good. I don't mind his phrases. I know a lot of people don't like the phrases. I like the phrases a lot because though they're kind of weird, I think it adds to his character. It just makes him seem more crazy. How he says, here, piggy, piggy. It just makes him seem more crazy. I like it a lot. May I also mention the speaker quality on this guy is magnificent. He is extremely loud. He's got a great speaker quality. I think SVI has some of the best speaker quality, but I think this guy has surpassed SVI. He's Party Time. I think Party Time has honestly surpassed SVI in speaker quality at this point. SVI I still like more as a company overall, but I still really have a lot of respect for Party Time with the stuff they've been giving us in the past few years. And their speaker quality is magnificent, and this guy shows it. He's got some amazing speaker quality. He's so loud, and it really adds to his intimidating nature. You would really think he has an external speaker jack hooked up to him if you hear him in person with the volume at full blast. So, like I mentioned, he's got some great detail, great phrases, great speaker quality, and he's a very easy setup. He's just a snap lock pull prop, so his setup is very simple. It was even more simple than Sewer Varmint. Sewer Varmint has a simple setup, but the Butcher's was even more simple because it's just snap lock pulls. You didn't have to screw anything in. So, on the Wolfman review rating scale, I'm going to give this guy 9 out of 10 claw marks. Actually, let's bump this guy up to 9.5 out of 10 because he's a really good prop. Definitely one of the absolute best props of the year in my opinion, and one that I highly recommend you pick up for the 2020 season. So I hope you all enjoyed. Keep howling at the moon, my werewolves.
Here, piggy, piggy, piggy. This little piggy went to market. Where are you going?